Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. I am really excited to give you guys a deeper dive into this tool. Some of you may have noticed SphereBuilder as a part of Bright, but we are lucky to actually have the SphereBuilder people here instead of just Bright. So they're the ones that actually have the technology, and they're here to show us what the tool can do for you for free through Bright, and then also some of the additional features that we also have access to. So I'm really excited. It's got some really cool features I think you guys will really like, and I hope you take advantage of it. So I will go ahead and let Scott and Grace take it over.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, Grace, I will just do I'll do a quick intro, and then you can do a quick intro, and Grace is going to give most of the presentation. I will maybe play color commentary, and then I'll also be monitoring the chat while we're going on. So if people have questions, I can answer that. But I'm Scott Feldman. I'm Chief Revenue Officer for SphereBuilder, and we're thrilled to be here and appreciate the invite with Stephen. And we think, like Stephen said, there are things that we're going to show you that you're getting today because of your relationship with Bright MLS. And then there's some other things that we're hoping you're going to want to take advantage of as well. But it's kind of a broad topic. So instead of talking around it, I'm going to bring Grace on, and then she can show you what the heck we're talking about. And now you're on. Oh, good.
I know I did it.
I wasn't the only one to do it.
All right. And I'm not as adept with Google Meet, so give me a minute and make sure I'm sharing.
It's the big square button with the arrow pointing up at the bottom.
Okay. There we go. Do you see your... Oh, and now it's popping over. Oh, that's nice. Okay. We seem to always use Zoom here. Oh, no.
Whoa.
That's not right. Okay.
You're good. We can see we could see your presentation.
Now, do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. So we're SphereBuilder, and it's a fairly new platform from a company that has been around for a very long time. We had primarily before this really focused on listing marketing and listing technology. And we realized, especially as the market has been changing the past few years, that isn't necessarily meeting a lot of needs, as it's definitely been swinging towards being a buyer's market instead of a seller's market. So the thought process was, how can we help and meet realtors, through every stage of their journey that they're going through? And so we came up with SphereBuilder. So it meets you when you have a listing. It meets your needs when you are trying to win listings. It meets your needs as a buyer's agent, and connects all those dots to help you grow your digital sphere. So no matter where you're at, we'll have something for you. I'm sure you guys know, but how many of you here are familiar with the term sphere of influence?
Everyone should know this one.
Excellent.
You don't see me after.
So, of course, we're very familiar with your sphere of influence in the real world, so to speak. The people you come in contact with every day, whether it's other realtors, business professionals, mortgage lenders, small businesses in your area, and then, of course, your book of business that you have worked with or hope to work with in the future. But what's also very important is now it is extending to the digital world in more ways than ever. Everyone is online in some capacity, whether they want to be or not. Even if people say, I hate social media, they're probably on at least one. Very few people are not present there at all. And even when they're just searching for realtors online, they're going to come across your social media site. So we wanted to give away to easily help build your sphere of influence online, just like you do in your real world. Social media is the #1 tool for generating leads. And I don't think anyone should be surprised by that at this point. It's what's out there, and it's where everyone starts to make connections, to make sure that they are checking you out in a sense. You know, they want to see what you're doing. And a lot of times the easiest way is actually for them to go to your social media sites. And so how do you guys leverage social media? There's two main ways. There's organic, and that is when you are making posts to your social media pages, when you're sharing content, whether it is directly real estate related or just your personal day-to-day life stuff that you want to share. And then the other option is paid, and that's using ads online to generate leads and traffic for specific listings, for your brand, and directing people to a certain website or a certain page, as opposed to just letting them find and like your stuff organically. And so then that poses the question, how can we help with that? So SphereBuilder is essentially a 3-pronged approach. Sphere Index is free to you guys as Bright subscribers. What we can do is actually give you a real-time assessment of your online presence, and then help you determine what are the little things that you can do to help grow that presence. We have a content center where you can create and distribute content, both for listings and non-listing content. And then we have our ad center. And some of you guys may have already even seen our ad center. We had the opportunity to break that out as a standalone product and put it into Bright Listing Management. So it's actually accessible directly through Listing Management whenever you are creating a listing, but it was started as part of our SphereBuilder platform. And so the thought process is, as you are working on your digital marketing, it's basically a flywheel. And once you get into a rhythm, it's going to just keep gaining momentum. So the first step is to measure and compare with Sphere Index. I think that's the big question a lot of realtors have. You may have a marketing plan or a social media plan, but how do you know that what you're doing is working and making an impact? And that's what we can do with SphereBuilder, is show you where you are and then help you make sure that you're taking effective steps to improve that online presence. Creating and sharing, that is when you are distributing content and making posts to your social media sites. So the more often you're able to get into a posting rhythm, and the higher quality of posts that you can make, the more likely you are to get engagement and followers. Amplify and extend, that is running paid ads to drive people either to your listings or to your business. And then assessing and continuing. So after you've been doing a steady cadence of activities, then taking a step back, getting your score again and seeing what's improved and seeing where you can take some prescriptive measures to keep that score going up. All right, which leads us to Sphere Index. Now this is, like I said, this is free for you guys, and it's super easy to create an account. I'll show you, we'll give you those links a little bit later. What we do for Sphere Index is we will run your social media sites through an algorithm, and we measure over 100 different data points to get you a score. And we've broken it down into 3 main sections. We have profiles and search. That is how many sites you are on that you've claimed your profiles for. And it also takes a look at how you're ranking in Google searches. We have content and engagement. That is how often you're posting and the type of engagement that you're getting for those posts. And then we have your reputation, which is your reviews. Right now we're looking at Zillow, Google, and Facebook. We hope to expand that in the future, but those are definitely kind of the 3 heavy hitters right now for realtors. So we can assess your average rating and then also how many reviews that you have.
Yeah. Hey, Grace, while you're just to make sure everyone's tracking with you, this is great. Is you're actually, when you first open your SphereBuilder account, you're going to go in and give us your profiles. It takes just a couple of minutes, your profile for Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, whatever, if you have them. If you don't, that's okay too. That's what we're here for, is to help see where you're at, and then we'll be able to help improve it. But it's probably I don't know. What do you think, Grace? 5-minute job of like getting your profiles and sticking them in. So I guess I'm also trying to set everyone's expectation. It is a little bit of work. This is an automated software system, but it does take a little bit of effort on your side.
Yep, that's true. All right, I'm going to switch tabs here for a second. Did you guys see that change?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so our website is SphereBuilder.io. I do have a slide with that later down, and I will share the slide deck with you. But if you want to check it out, you can do that now. So when you log into your account, if you don't, you won't have a score to start most likely. So that's what you'll see is going to be a little different. I already have a score in here, and instead of recalculate, you will just have a button that says Get My Score. And I'm not going to do it live through here since it's a test account and I already have a score. It's not going to work the same way as the first time. So I'll switch back to my slides and just quickly let you know what you need to gather to run your score so you're prepared. It's a little easier when you kind of know what you're going to be looking for. All right, so the first thing that we do is assess your Google business profile. If you do not have one, you should get one. Google is still the king of search engines. The majority of people, even if they have like your name, they're going to put you in a Google search. If they don't have your name, they might be doing something like Delaware top realtor or something like that. And of course, if you have a Google business profile, those take precedence in search results over just a website or something like that. So it's going to ask you if you have one, and then if you do, you're just going to start typing that in and it'll come up automatically for you to select. The second thing that it asks for is your Facebook business page URL, and that you can just get from the URL bar when you're on your page. We also ask about your personal Facebook profile. Now, this step is optional, but we didn't want to discount the fact that realtors, you guys create so many close connections with your clients, or you have friends that turn into clients that are already going to be engaged with your personal page or will become engaged with your personal page. So we do give you the option to have us scrape your personal page as well. All we get is number of followers on there, but personal pages are not public, so you do have to choose to allow us to get that information. So that is what this step is. And like I said, it's optional. If you truly keep your business and personal separate, you don't have to do both. But a lot of times we understand there is that overlap, and we definitely want to make sure that we're including the most accurate information that we can. All right, next is Instagram. It's a similar situation. We both ask for both an Instagram business account and a personal profile. Some people may have both. Sometimes you may have one or the other. The nice thing about the Instagram ones is you can just use your handle, so @ and then whatever your handle is. It makes it a little easier than trying to find your Instagram URL. That can be a little bit tricky. So we can look at both business accounts and personal profiles for Instagram as well. Next is, well, X, formerly known as Twitter. So you can enter your handle in there or your URL. A little bit easier to find that one than it is the Instagram one. TikTok. TikTok seems to be fairly divisive in the real estate community, but if you have a TikTok and you're active on it, we definitely want to give you credit for that. So you'll have the option to enter your TikTok information. YouTube. YouTube is a really great platform to have a channel on as a realtor, and I mean, the simplest reason is because it's owned by Google. And so if you have a YouTube channel, it's going to be more often coming up in Google search results because they're connected and they want YouTube to be prevalent in their search results since it's the same company. So if you don't already have a channel, I'd recommend creating one. If you do, you can put in your account information to have that included in your score. And last but not least is Zillow. Everyone probably should have a Zillow profile already, even if you haven't claimed it. If you haven't claimed it, I recommend doing that. Zillow is still a huge site when people are looking for homes and for agents. And you can just copy and paste your URL into the Zillow section here. And the very last thing you'll enter is your zip code. This can be either for your office or your primary service area. I know in this day and age, a lot of people don't necessarily work in the same zip code that their office might be in. So it's up to you, whatever you feel is most valuable. And that helps us differentiate which benchmark we display. Now the benchmark, that's going to show you where you stack up against other realtors in your area. What we did was we took the 20% of top producers for listings, ran them through our algorithm to get a local benchmark. And Bright, we split it into 4 different geographical regions. So you'll want to make sure that you use the zip code of your primary service area and or office to make sure that we are showing you the accurate benchmark for your location. And once you've entered those, it's going to start analyzing that information. Something that I personally really like is it shows you exactly what it's analyzing. It can take a couple of minutes. So I really like being able to see which steps it's going through and knowing that it's still going. And it plays a nice little video about your online presence at the same time. Then once it's done, you'll get a little View My Score button. And then that will take you back to what your score is. So this one, you just ran a celebrity agent through it. I feel like it's a good example because this shows that even celebrity agents may need a little bit of work on their social media profiles. So I used Josh Flagg. He landed at a 69. And you're like, awesome, I got my score. Now what? So the next step after you have your score is we actually give you recommendations to help improve that score. I'm just going to let that load for a minute. And what we focus on are those 3 main areas that we talked about earlier. So we're looking at your profiles, content and engagement, and reputation. I am part of like 7 different organizations, so mine always takes longer to load. Yours will not take this long. I can guarantee that. There we go.
You're so important, Grace.
No, like, look, this is what I mean. You guys will see one here, like, you're going to see one benchmark here, and I've got like everybody, except for Bright, ironically. Guess I'm not added to that one yet. So this top section is going to be a graph of your progress over time, essentially. So you can see I'm this little yellow one, and I've kind of been moving all around. So as you take the actions and run your score, you'll be able to actually see the progress over time. Our system does let you run your score once a day. However, best practice, I'd say to run it maybe once every couple of weeks. You just need to give your actions time to like get the results and to make an impact. If you're checking it every day, you're likely just not going to see that much of a change. But if you do it every couple of weeks, that should give you a good barometer to go by.
Yeah, and I hope, hey, Grace, I hope people are seeing, and I'm not sure if they've used Credit Karma before, but it's like, this is how we designed it. So you wouldn't check your credit score. Like there's things you can do, right? Credit Karma helps you do things to increase your credit score. You've used it with clients to help them increase their credit score. But you'll see as we get into this, it's kind of how we designed it. And then the nice thing is it's also It's built like with psychology in mind, meaning you do some steps, your score will go up, you'll feel good about it. You'll do some more steps, but it's not just making you feel good. It's making you a better digital marketer, right? It's not like, just like your credit score isn't just about having a higher number. It's, the things, lower interest rates or whatever, the things that might come from having a better score.
Yep, exactly. All right, so this is really the important section, and this is where we give you the recommendations that you can take to easily improve that score. The first section is going to focus on your profiles and search. So some of these are going to be really basic, like for TikTok, he's missing an email address and a phone number. So those are really easy steps you can take. May pop up with your Facebook page and it says you don't have a website address on here. And you're like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't put that in there. And any of them will have a little button that's going to take you to that platform where you can make that change. If you don't have, if you don't have a Facebook page or a YouTube channel, you'll likely get a result saying, hey, we don't have we see you don't have this account, and it'll give you the option to make that account. You can see that in the profiles especially, they're very easy steps that you can take to really make sure that you have the most information in there that you can, which of course will lead to you coming up more often in searches. And when people are on your profile, making sure that they can actually contact you and connect with you. All right, the second section is going to focus on activity and engagement for the social sites that you are on. So this can gauge how many posts you're averaging per month, how long since your last post, and engagement. As you can see, we don't have a whole lot of engagement or posting going on with this one. But you can click to visit our content center. That is going to be part of SphereBuilder overall. We'll dive into that a little bit later. But you can use our content center to make posts, or you can simply, do what you've been doing and go and make a post on your social media sites. And what's really important here is going to be just establishing that rhythm of posting, like, setting aside a half hour a week to make your post or schedule out your posts for the week, just to make sure that you have that consistency to get your activity score up, and then also making sure that what you're posting is getting engagement. And then we have our review section. So if you don't have reviews, you're going to be able to request reviews on the various sites. And that's a good step to be taking anyway, is just when you have clients, if you haven't been asking for reviews, find a really nice way to do that. I think most people are very happy to give a good review after they've had a great experience with you. I think a lot of times people just don't even think about doing that. So just, sending a nice message, requesting one, I think is a great way to start getting those counts up. And something we also look at, we all know that people and reviews can be a bit fickle. So on the off chance you have a poor review that's been left for you, we don't just automatically say, oh, well, that dropped your review score down. We actually look at if you responded to the bad review to help mitigate that. We felt that was really important. I know we've all read reviews and been like, oh, I don't really buy that, and just as a realtor, just taking that step to, put a reply in there, just a nice response, I think goes a long way for other people looking at the reviews saying, oh, they engaged, they responded. I can see both sides, or at least I can see that they cared enough and want to mitigate that situation. And then the last section that you're going to have is about your listings. So if you do have listings active in MLS, we actually pull them over into SphereBuilder and give you options to create marketing material around them. So this section is going to show you how long the listing's been active. Mine are fake listings, so they've not actually been active for like a year. But it'll give you the option to go and advertise it and get some content out there around those listings if you do have them active. And if you are not a seller, if you're not a seller's agent, if you are a buyer's agent and you don't have very many listings, you likely won't see them here unless you've got a newly activated one. And I have a lot of listings in my account, so that's why it's just going and going and going. But you'll only see them for your active listings in there. And so then the thought process is after you've taken those steps, then when you recalculate your score, you should start to see it moving up, which is awesome. And ultimately, we want to be able to, we want to prove out that causation between the more online presence you have and the more reach that you have, that influences, where you land in volume and how many listings you have for the year or how many buyers you have for the year. So we love data. We're constantly analyzing it and looking at it and always making little tweaks to our algorithm to make sure that we're getting you guys the most up-to-date information on there. Do we have any questions about Sphere Index before we move on to ads?
We haven't had anything in the chat yet, but probably a good point to see if anyone wants to unmute and ask a question before we move on to the ads.
You'll probably go over this at some point. How do they log into the Sphere part?
Yeah, Scott, do you want to drop the website link into the chat? I have it on a slide that later on, but if you want to drop in the chat, just if people want to start creating their accounts, that'd be great.
I will do that, but you have to promise not to do it while Grace is talking. But
if you want, you can wait till you can wait to the end, but you did.
Definitely. So I just put it into the chat, and all of you will, because of your Bright relationship, you'll be able to log in. So Grace also runs customer success. She didn't mention that.
That's true. Didn't.
Here's the thing. Let's all help Grace. Log in with the same email address that you use at Bright. And that way you won't have to call customer success. We do have a great customer success team. We answer the phone, we have chat, we have email. They are all in the United States where it's 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. If I got that right, Grace? And
roughly, a little shorter Saturday and Sunday, but you guys are working Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, whatever. Right? Yeah, nobody works on the weekends.
So we're absolutely here to help. But the number one question we have is, I can't log in. Well, you can't log in. You have to use that because I know people have multiple email addresses.
Do you have to create the account, or can you just log in with your Bright stuff? Like, do you have to actually create it first?
If it's your first time, you'll need to claim it. There'll be a create your account button up there. And yes, and all you need to do is enter the same email address for Bright and then set your password, and that's it. It's mostly just so you can establish the password for that account.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, then let's go. I think Teresa, I'll answer your question in the chat, but the short answer is this information, like where you put in your URLs of your list of your social media accounts and all that, stays within SphereBuilder. 100% doesn't get communicated out of it. Doesn't go. It's only for your information. Doesn't go anywhere beyond that. It doesn't touch your contacts, your friends, or anything. I think that's an important distinction. This is, think about it again, like Credit Karma. This is like your account. No one else sees it.
Yeah. And everything that we're looking at is public, with the exception of if you choose to allow us access to see your follower count on your Facebook personal page. Everything else is information someone can just, you know, see on any site. So we're not digging in and getting anything that we shouldn't be. So all right, well, let's
look at Ad Builder.
awesome. Okay. All right, back to the slideshow. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Ad Builder. This was our opportunity, we mentioned it briefly earlier, to be able to take our paid ads platform and insert it right into the Bright listing management. It's also available through SphereBuilder. The big difference is through Bright listing management, you can run paid ads around any of your listings. In SphereBuilder, you can actually take any piece of content and run an ad around it. So if you wanted to do something geared toward yourself, like a brand recognition ad, or if you wanted to maybe run an ad highlighting like a community that you are selling a lot of properties in, any of those options can be done within SphereBuilder. That you know, there's that limitation within Bright. It's just for the listings that are in there. So it adds a little more flexibility for you guys if you do choose to use SphereBuilder, because you can create ads around literally anything. What we wanted to do with ads is make it simple. If you've ever run your own ads on Facebook or Google, you know that the setup process can be a little overwhelming and time consuming. We've done all the hard work for you. We've set up the algorithms and keywords and targeting. You literally just have to make maybe 5 choices and your ad is up and running. Not long after we launched with Bright, Scott, you may recall this too. I think we had a lady place an ad for 4 different properties in the span of 11 minutes, which we were very impressed by, but it also kind of proved out that we did make this easy, which was our goal. It shouldn't be hard to run a paid ad. It should be easy for you guys to do that. So that was our goal, and we'll walk you through it.
And I'll just chime in. If anyone has ever tried to place an ad on use Facebook Business Manager, Facebook Ad Manager, or Instagram Ad Manager, or Google Ads, it's super complicated. And essentially, we're doing that for you. And this is where your ads are going to go, but you never have to go into those ugly places.
Yes. All right. And so it's a very simple process. We create your ad for you. We pull in the listing information or the content that you select. And for the listing options, it just creates a listing video automatically using the photos and the verbiage that you've uploaded into the MLS listing. You select where you want it to go. You can do Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, or Google, or a combination of the two. You get to choose how long you want the ad to run for and how much you want to pay for it. And then you pay for it and it's up and running. So it's very simple. And this process, if I run it through SphereBuilder, it's going to have a slightly different jumping off point. But this is the exact same first page you'll get if you run it through your MLS. So on any of your listings now in Bright, you're going to see a little bar. It's just going to say preview my ad or preview your ad. Same thing. And when you click on that, it's going to get you to this page. So it's going to talk a little bit about the value props that you have. It'll actually start to fill your information in already right here. And then you can just click let's go. It will ask you to confirm the information that you want to display on your ad. We do pull some of it from your MLS if you're doing this through Bright. If you're doing it through SphereBuilder, we pull it from your account section in SphereBuilder. But either way, we want you to have the opportunity to double check it, make sure the information you want on the ad is there. And I could be wrong. I feel like we maybe don't get your office logo through the MLS feed, so that you may need to upload the very first time that you do it. But it's a good way just to double check and make sure the information you want to show for yourself and your office is there. All right, so we have two different types of ads available. The first one is ad intelligence. This is a great way to run an ad for a longer duration of time in a very hands-off manner, where we actually update the ad automatically to match what's going on with that listing status. For example, you can run it when your listing is coming soon. It will start as coming soon. Once it goes to active in the MLS, it becomes an active listing ad. If you do an open house, we'll automatically add a banner to it with the open house information, all the way down the line, price reduced, under contract, and then maybe even sold if it hits sold within the duration of the campaign. So it's a very easy way to run the ad for an extended amount of time and not have to think about it. We do all the work of updating it and making it appropriate for the audience that you're wanting to reach at that time. This one goes to Google and to Meta. You can choose the balance on that one, but it's available to run on both of those platforms. And then the second option is going to be Ad Target. Now this one, it's more customizable, and it's meant to target like a very specific event that's happening with that listing. So we've got coming soon, just listed, open house, price reduced, under contract, or classic, where it's not necessarily targeting an event, but maybe just a specific period of time that you want the ad to be out there. So all these are great tools to use, and it's just up to you which you feel is best suited for your listing. A lot of times, if you think that listing is going to sell in 2 weeks or go under contract in 2 weeks, maybe you don't want to run a longer duration ad. Maybe you just want to be able to do a just listed ad for 5 days. And this gives you the flexibility to really choose that. The main thing to keep in mind is ad targets do not follow the triggers from the MLS listing. It will advertise just what you selected for. But they both have great purposes for your marketing. And you can run multiple ads. So if you run your just listed ad, and then maybe it's super fast sale and you want to do under contract right away after it just listed and got an offer, you can do that as well. There's just a lot of different options for you to be able to get as much traffic as you can to that listing. And of course, not only to sell the listing, yes, that's a big part of why you run a paid ad, but even more so to make sure that your seller knows that you're doing everything that you can for them to get that listing seen. And then for you as the agent to show, not only am I great at listing houses, I'm great at getting them sold. So you can run your under contracts or the social or this ad intelligence when it flips to like an under contract status. That's showing that you can, that you are an expert at selling houses as well. And so once you've selected the kind you want, and we'll start with ad intelligence, and I think we'll have time to back up and do a target one too. So for ad intelligence, first step, you just set your budget to whatever you want that to be. And then you select how you want the spend to be mixed between Google or Meta. So balance is going to just split it down the middle. If you're going more for a branding approach, it's going to default to heavier to Meta. If you are going more for leads, that's going to swing it more in the favor of the Google search ads. Or you can do a custom option where you break that down, however you want it to be. You can choose to make that your default budget and spending preference. So anytime you come in to run an ad, it'll start at that option. You can, of course, change it, but if you kind of know what you normally want to do, you can set a default for that. Here's where you're going to be able to preview your ad. It'll show you what it will look like on all 3 sites. So you have your Google search, your Facebook ad, and your Instagram ad. I will add for Instagram especially, there's going to be a slight variation because we actually can, if any of you guys are pretty active on Instagram and look at stories, you'll notice like every few stories you watch, you get an ad. We actually can plop this in the stories as an ad too. So that one will look a little bit different. It's going to be mostly the video with the link for them to click on. It'll comes with a listing lead site, and that's where it's going to direct people to when they are when they click to learn more. This is what it's going to go to, and then it's got a lead form both up here and a contact the listing agent section in the bottom. And then the only other thing that you even have to make a decision on is where you want to advertise that listing. So it's just going to default to around the listing zip code or office address zip code if you're running like non-listing content. But we do want to give you the flexibility. We've had some fairly specific use cases where say you're selling like an oceanfront property and you know that people from like, let's say New York City consistently buy vacation homes here. You can actually choose to advertise the ad to people in the New York City region instead of advertising it to people that are already living in that area. So it gives you a little bit of flexibility. I would say most of the time you probably won't need to actually change where you're marketing it to. But if you've got a use case that works for that, we wanted to give that flexibility.
Hey, Grace, thanks for showing that. That was actually a question that Chris Lane had a second ago. And I do say the Facebook puts in some rules a few years ago around how to target ads. It was in reaction to some fair housing concerns. And obviously we all believe in fair housing. People should, anyone, no matter what, should be able to live wherever they want to live. I know we all agree with that. But the ads on Facebook and on Instagram have a 15-mile is the smallest radius that they will allow. And in some of your areas, and I know you guys have a pretty broad area, you've got some more rural and you've got some more densely packed areas, but we use Facebook's rules. I mean, we have to, and but then we give you this flexibility if you want to expand, if you want to get smaller. The nice things about the search engine ads where we can is that they obviously can go over a smaller area, like by a zip code or a city.
Yep. All right. So once you've taken a look at the preview, move the location if you choose to, you just hit approve. And that's literally it. You can make your payment, and then that ad will be processed and go live.
Yeah. Hey, Grace, is this and then we won't show you how you put your credit card in and pay for something online. I think everybody's done that. But we do, this probably be a good time to talk about the coupon code, right? For people who, you know, as a thank you for coming today or for watching the video, we do want to offer you, I said 10%, but I think Grace turned it into 20%. What was it?
I did. I turned it into 20.
You put it right there. So this is just for Coldwell Banker Premier, 20% off your first ad. And then you see on the screen CBP 2024. And that's good. What's it good for you? Like any listing you want, June 30th. Is that the deadline that the coupon is good for, I think.
Yep. Yeah, so definitely take advantage of that. I just want to run through how the ad
real quick. Let's stop. Let's take a pause. We do have Content Center, which is something else we want to show you. But I think it's probably a good place to maybe ask some, see if there's questions about placing ads and where you get them in Bright or anything like that. Have people seen in listing management? Maybe it'd be great if someone, do agents enter new listings in Bright, or does someone from a staff person at the organization do it at Premier? I think you all know the answer to this.
Agents have their own stuff.
What's that, Michael?
Pointing at herself.
The agents do it themselves.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Okay, so you're all familiar. Right in the ad edit, there is when you're in listing management, there is a click that says go to listing management, and then when you're looking at each listing, it says preview my ad. And when you say, so you don't see the SphereBuilder or Ad Builder name, but when you see preview my ad, that's us, and that's through our partnership with Bright, and then it takes you directly through the experience that Grace just showed you. You can if you have a SphereBuilder account, you can do it there as well, or you can do it like right in listing management. Does that make sense? I'm gonna take that as a yes. Thank you. All right, so we do have one other bit to show you for we've got a paid subscription. It's optional for something that we call Content Center, which is a lot of times people don't post because they don't know what to say, and so we've got a library of content, and Grace's going to give you just a quick overview so it's like about 900 or 1,000 starting points, and it works like Canva, where you get these templates. You can make static or video content, and you can edit it, and then you can really easily post it on all your social channels, or you can schedule it out. We'll just give you a super quick look at it in case it's something that you'd like to do. There's also a 30-day free trial of this part. So everything we've shown you. So Sphere Index is free. Ad Builder, you pay per ad. And then what we're about to show you now is a subscription. Because you're with Bright, it's usually $49 a month. It's $20. And it has a 30-day free trial. So I just want to make sure, like, level set where we are. Sphere Index is free, or maybe I should say free to you, comes from the MLS. Ads you buy, you pay per ad. And then this Content Center is $20 a month if you want it.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Scott. So he's right. I think that's the biggest challenge. And not only just for realtors, I think for anyone, using social media for a small business or a business is, I don't know what to post. And we've tried to help solve that here. We've got a lot of content that's readily available for you. This is probably one of our coolest pieces. It's available in our Content Center and in Market My Listings. It's available as well. But it is a great way to really present yourself as an expert in your market on what's going on in the market. And it's branded to you, which is pretty awesome. We keep seasonal content updated in this section. And then we've got, really thousands of pieces of content that you can pick from, categorized in these sections. And they can really be customized as little or as much as you want them to be. A lot of them are just ready to go. You can just add your brand slide to it to make a little video, which is great for social media algorithms. Or you can even choose ones that take a little more editing, like you can create a piece around a listing that you already have to advertise, or something that I really love is the customer reviews or testimonials option to create content around and get that posted. We also have the option for you to upload your own content. And this is a really great option. Like say you've got a really amazing drone video of one of your properties, or you do a walkthrough of like a day in the life of you as a realtor. You can upload any piece of content that's a photo or video file into your My Content Center. And then why that is such a good option is we can actually link to your social media sites for posting. And you can set it to go to, it's either 6 or 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. You can set it to go to up to 6 different sites in a single share, which really cuts down on the amount of time that you have to spend posting to your different social media sites. Let's see. The only one I really have available in here right now is this one. So if you were to click, if you uploaded content or created content and then hit post, you'll see the different platforms that you can connect to. If you aren't connected, it'll prompt you to make that connection. And you'll notice this one shows 4. It's because it's a video file and not all sites you can post video files to. The same thing will happen if like you're wanting to share like your listing site for Market My Listings that we have available. You'll notice it won't go to like Instagram or YouTube because it's sharing a website link, but it can go to Facebook. So it'll automatically flex to show what you can post where, but it's a super easy way to get your content posted to multiple platforms with a single click. And you can do scheduling. So if you want to take, 40 minutes on Monday morning and schedule all your posts for the week, you can come in here, get them created, get them scheduled, and then not even have to think about it. And we'll go ahead and get those sent out over the week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I think, hey, Grace, I think that's probably there's a lot more, but I want to be respectful of everybody's time and also see if there's any kind of last minute questions as we wrap up. So questions about the posting the organic content, anything along those lines? I will say we have all your listings because of our relationship with Bright. So there's also, videos of your listings and kind of virtual tour type things that you can easily post, and flyers that you can post to your channels when you get a new listing. Happens really easy. So to take advantage of I'm reading a question in the chat. To take advantage of subscription rate of 20, do we need a code? Oh, the subscription for Content Center for $20 a month is not a code. That is, we know who you are. We know you're affiliated with Bright, and that is the price that you see. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I've gave it totally wrong. Totally wrong. I think I've had it is, and I apologize. That was a mistake on my part. It is 49. It is 49 because it's 49. Grace, how did you let me say it twice?
I was like, maybe you know something I don't know.
No, I don't know anything you don't know. It's $49. And Chris, thank you for that question. And I apologize to everyone for that. Was not a bait and switch, I swear. That was just a mental error on my part.
But you were right about the 30-day free trial, and there's no card required for that. So if you do want to just test it out, we don't even make you give us a card. You can just activate that trial and take a look and see what you think. And regardless, Sphere Index is going to be available to you at no cost. And then paid ads, you can always run through Bright. If you do the SphereBuilder free trial or membership, then you can create ads around other content too. So
sure. And then okay, two last questions that we're gonna, and then we'll bring Stephen on and he can wrap it up if he's still here. Remind us about our login. So it's in this chat. SphereBuilder.io is the website. Open your account using the same email address as you use with Bright. And second question, can I contact someone from your company to add content for me each week? Not right now. We don't offer that, but we do offer the ability for you to upload content. So if you have somebody that is making content for you, or something, some other way, you could upload it there, or you could use, like Grace said, almost 1,000 different pieces that we already have for you. Thank you. Great question, Trish. Paula says, my login with Bright is my user ID.
So it would be this, whatever email address you log into your Bright account, it should be that same one.
Generally speaking, though, when we log into Bright, we don't use an email address, I think is the confusion. So is it just the email address that is associated with our Bright account?
Yep. Okay. Yep. And I think we can actually look that up. I don't think we can for all partners, but I'm pretty sure for Bright we can. So if you're really running into a wall there, just reach out to my team, and we should be able to also help track that down.
Hey, Grace, what is the phone number and email to reach out to your team?
Yes. Let's see. So the email address is success@spherebuilder.io. And phone number, I'll drop that in the chat right now. Phone number is 888-458-2319. And then if you are on our website, even on the login page, you should have, there should be a messaging option in the lower left. It's like a green.
A little chat bot, right?
Yep.
But it's to talk to a real person.
Yes. Yep.
Well, Stephen, that's what we had. And thank you so much for having us. And thank you, everyone, for coming. And hope you'll open your account, get your Sphere Index score, and then also take advantage of the ads. And I certainly hope you got the idea that we're here to help. And this isn't, we're not dumping this on you. And, let us know what we can do for you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And again, if there's any last questions, feel free to throw them out there. But yeah, I think it's a really a no-brainer, especially on the Sphere Index and stuff. It's like it's included as a Bright benefit, so you might as well use it. I love the content library. I think it's really cool, and I think the ad builder is very interesting as well, just from a time-saving standpoint. So it gives you some more options when it comes to ads. I know Coldwell Banker has an ad platform as well through Boost, but this gives you different options to explore in that. So, I think it's always good to have different.
Stephen knows this. I was one of the leaders at HomeSpotter Boost for many years, and I ran the relationship with Coldwell Banker. And I will say this: these are better. That is a good product and a good company. And these are video ads, and they are on the Google search results, which we think is a lot more effective than display ads.
Very cool.
So, and I know that's on the recording, and I stand behind it, even if my former colleagues, were to see this.
I won't tell them. All right. Thank you guys for joining, and thank you, Scott and Grace. Appreciate it. And Scott,
yeah, thank you so much for having us.
I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.